What's going on?
Nothing.
There's like a huge delay to the old YouTubles. What's happening, everybody? Hey, everybody! It's Sunday.
It is. All day.
All day. Sunday live haul. What's happening, guys? Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks.
I know. We took shocking. I know. We took last week off.
We did. I don't even remember what happened, but we took it off.
We were tired.
We have a lot going on, guys. Okay. Sunday live haul here. If this is your first time watching the show, hello. Welcome. I'm Katy. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, aka Sassy McSasserson, aka super stressed out.
I'm a little less stressed now.
Oh, you're less? Okay.
A little bit.
AKA my fiance. Anyway, Tommy says, who are you people?
Seriously. So last weekend we did our taxes last Saturday. So that was first.
That's true.
We spent the whole day doing our taxes. So like some of you guys, some business people, we file an extension every year. So taxes are actually due October 15th. So we actually did our taxes last Saturday, get everything over.
We don't do this year-round bookkeeping stuff.
Yeah, we're terrible.
Well, we do.
Do as we say, not as we do.
We have all of our records, but listen, guys, we don't teach taxes here, okay? We teach how to
hire a good accountant,
how to be a successful reseller, as in we're good at buying stuff and selling it. I think for both of us, our biggest weaknesses are the tax side of things, which is why we both employ a excellent CPA Mark II, who is going to be at the Boss Reseller Remix. But I know a lot of resellers out there use Mark II. Friends of ours who aren't resellers use Mark II.
It's true. Our best friends.
He is a fantastic CPA. He's also a seller, and he's super affordable. So really, you have no excuse to not be using a CPA. But anyway, so we got that taken care of. But
my brother and sister-in-law use Mark II now.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, they sell on Amazon. So anyway, we're down to just over 2 weeks before the Boss Reseller Remix.
Pretty much.
We're super excited.
Everybody's going to start to arrive 2 weeks from today, pretty much.
I'd say, it's been super stressful. It's been a lot of work, like a lot of work. Definitely a lot of time.
Tommy, that would make too much sense.
Definitely a lot of time and effort has gone into it. I would say we finally, it's more stressful when you're trying to get the details taken care of and you're depending on other people and other businesses, third parties to kind of get things lined up. And so that can be super stressful when you don't have control over that. But now that
I don't know if you've met me or not, but I'm a little bit of a type A control freak.
Hey, I like having stuff organized as well. I just don't. I'm not.
She's not as anal about it as I am. So
I'm detail oriented. I just don't freak out. So
I have a lot of anxiety, and those of you that may suffer with anxiety like I do, and I know there's a bunch of you out there, anxiety stems from not being able to control your surroundings, and being a control freak and not being able to control your surroundings or the behavior of others around you creates super anxiety. So when you're trying to do a whole lot of stuff and you have to rely on a lot of other people and a lot of moving parts to move around, and those parts don't move the way they're supposed to, oh hell. Yeah. It's a little bit of a nightmare.
Absolutely. So I know for me, I'm a little better at compartmentalizing things and being like, okay, here's the task at hand that needs to be worked on right now. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of that stuff until later. And so, but now we're kind of past the most stressful parts of it, because now it's like, we just have busy work left to do. Like getting stuff printed locally. We just ordered the t-shirts. We've got, just the little stuff, organizing. So now it's like, I'm just getting more and more excited about it. And as you can see in the chat, I have highlighted there. For those of you who may not know, Allison, big thrift herself, BDT, is now officially coming to the Boss Reseller Remix. So we are super, super excited, because she is definitely one of our favorite people. And
we didn't think she was going to be able to come.
We were lucky enough that we already got to see her this year here in Vegas. And now she's coming back.
Yep.
So we're super excited about that. But guys, speaking of Boss Reseller Remix, tickets are still on sale, but they're only going to be available for the next week. And then we have to do the cutoff. So if you haven't gotten a ticket, seriously, you need to get on it. It's going to be an amazing week. Everything that we have lined up is so freaking awesome. Even better than we envisioned it when we very first started on this journey, as much as I hate saying that, this journey to bring this event into fruition.
That's like Boss Babe. Stop.
We've got the food trucks all lined up now for lunches. I'm really excited about that. We've got the meet and greet all planned out for Monday night. We've got seriously so much fun stuff that's going to be happening. The Posh Kings have some surprises that they're bringing. I think it's going to make the red carpet for the big party. The Big List Perfectly party is going to be amazing and super, super fun.
So fun.
So, man, guys, you got 1 week. I do have the links below if you want to go to the website or buy a ticket. But seriously, you don't want to miss out. It's going to be super, super fun.
Yeah, we can only sell tickets for 1 more week because I do have to get the head count to the venue, final head count for the catering and stuff like that. It's like a wedding, we've got to give a head count pay per person for the food. So
we have like a corner downstairs that is literally just overrun with all the signage and banners and the step and repeat. For if you've gone to like official events, we got a step and repeat, guys, to take pictures, fancy pictures in front of. We've got all the stuff for swag bags. Seriously, it's like this pile that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
And all the vendors keep sending stuff to the house for us to put together the swag bags. Thankfully, we have some local seller friends that are going to come over a couple of days before the event, or a few days before the event, to help us put these things together. So we're not doing everything totally last minute, because again, that would drive me crazy. So we got to get it all done at least a few days before.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome, though. And speaking of the vendors, I created this little raffle passport. And so you guys, when you attend, when you get you register, you get your swag bag, you have this little passport, you take it around to the different vendors and a few other people, and you get stamped. And when you get it fully stamped, when you get your passport fully stamped, it gets entered into the raffle. And we've got 3 laptops.
The raffle prizes are insane.
So we've got 3 laptops. Yep. We've got an iPad mini. I think it's coming from WorthPoint. We've got $250 Southwest gift card coming from eBliss. We've got
eBliss Reseller Solutions.
I believe Rollo printer. Big surprise. We're going to get a Rollo printer from them.
Yep.
We've got, eBay. It's like they're going to be doing like some huge, one of those really big.
eBay is doing one of those huge standing walk-in photography booths like Liz has.
Yeah. And a couple of smaller
and a couple of smaller things, but smaller photography.
One of those really big
things.
ones, I think.
The kind that you walk in that looks like a closet for people that sell clothing. It's like I don't even know, Liz. Talk about what it is, like the sizes. I know they're pretty pricey, but they're raffling off one of those. And no, you don't have to bring this stuff home in your suitcase. They're gonna ship it to you. The winners, they're gonna get your information and ship it to you.
Mark II is giving entry into his tax academy.
Yep, 1 year, which is like a $450 or $495
Well,
value.
I think he charges a few $100, but it's actually valued at like over $1,000, because you get to go through all the courses, and then you also get access to him, and then you also get access to his private. I think he has a private Facebook group.
He does. Yep.
That's just for
I'm in it.
Yeah. Well, excuse me, I am not. Okay?
You were invited. You just never joined.
Anyway, so there's just like a ton of stuff. It's gonna be super fun. I can't wait. All the people that my favorite people are gonna be there. It's just gonna be really, really fun. So we're counting down, guys, because seriously, you don't want to have FOMO when it comes to this week, because you do not want to be missing out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so
and obviously we've talked about it a lot on the show, but please pay attention to the Instagram account and to the Facebook group that is for the resellers that have registered for the event, because we will be posting on the website and on the Instagram account, and also on that Facebook group, about all of the extracurricular activities that we've been talking about, things that don't have to do with the event itself, but you're welcome to join in, not mandatory, but you're welcome to join in. Obviously, we've talked about we're doing a meet and greet on Monday night. The actual event starts on Tuesday. Registration is on Tuesday. But for those of you that are going to be there early or flying in early, a lot of people are coming by themselves. A lot of people have never met anyone in person. We want to take the uncertainty and the nervousness out of meeting a group of people out of the equation.
Yeah,
we want you to just come and have fun, have a cocktail, have a cup of coffee. I don't care. You don't have to drink. I'm not a big drinker. Come meet some people in person, put some faces to the names. And I promise you're going to leave with a handful of new best friends, and you're not going to feel anxious or nervous about it the week at all. By the minute you walk in, you're going to have a whole new group of friends.
Yeah. And
anyone that has done this before can testify to that's exactly how it is for these type of events. This is not an old stodgy type of, if anyone's ever gone to business conferences before, these type of conferences are not like that.
Yeah.
So,
and for those of you who are not able to make it for the week. A few things. You should be following Boss Reseller Remix on Instagram. All the people that are going to be attending are going to be pretty active, hopefully, on social media. You're going to want to definitely be following the Posh Kings, because on Thursday, our closing session is going to be the Katy and Vikki live YouTube show on Thursday that afternoon. So you guys will want, if you want to watch and kind of be there, and we'll give out some prizes to the home audience. We'll be doing that. And then when we have our party, the Posh Kings are going to be live streaming the red carpet at the beginning of the party on their Instagram. So you can kind of you can participate a little bit from afar and have a little bit of fun with us. So
yeah, Tommy asked, how is Vikki going to survive? She can only handle 2 drinks. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water that week, Tommy, because to be fair, I'm not a big drinker, and I'm going to be getting little to no sleep that entire week. So I promise you, you're probably only going to see me have a cocktail on Thursday night when it's all over. So.
And speaking of the red carpet, whether you're actually there or you're at home, you are not going to want to miss out on the red carpet, because I can tell you right now, T-Money she might have the best outfit of everyone. We're not going to tell you anything about it, but it's pretty spectacular. She's been doing a lot of work to pull all the different parts and pieces together, and I think it's going to be pretty cool.
For those of you that haven't planned your red carpet outfit yet, just so you know, anything goes. It doesn't matter whether you want to wear a costumey thing, a fun and silly outfit, if you want to dress it up, or if you want to wear a t-shirt and jeans. It does not matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Come however you're comfortable. I personally am dressing up because I haven't had a chance to dress up in 2 goddamn years, and I want to dress up. Okay.
I hope somebody comes in PJs for reals, Cheryl.
And I like to dress up. So and I haven't done all pin up and dressed up in 2 years, so I'm going for it.
DuPage our very own DuPage Greg has just given us a $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Greg. He says, thanks for organizing an awesome event for us sellers. Show eBay how it's done. You know, we're going to have at least 6 eBay people there.
We have
potentially 7.
6 to 7 eBay employees that are attending this event.
Ridiculous.
And just so you guys know, eBay is one of our major sponsors of the event. So not only are they attending, they paid to attend.
Yeah.
And so that to us, just so you know, in case anybody is watching that is from eBay, and sometimes they do pop in and watch our channel. We very much appreciate the faith that they put in not just us, but Teresa as well, because we did not do this by ourselves. It is us and Teresa that put this event together. Mm-hmm. And they put a lot of blind faith in 3 resellers that have never done this before, and they put their money where their mouth is, and they are coming and they are sending support, and we do appreciate that. They don't do that a lot, so that means something.
They're going to be recording some stuff for eBay Radio, so we're pretty excited about the eBay podcast. Also, Greg says, hope you have a vacay planned after the remix. Yeah, actually, we might be full of regret, but I think less than a week or a week after, we are actually going to Colorado.
And why? Because I am
because you're
awesome.
Because you're awesome. Because you're awesome. But we're gonna hang out with Liz, because we're gonna be like, hopefully we don't have some sort of like friendship ending fight during the remix. Who knows? You never know. Can't predict everything. But we're gonna be hanging out with Liz, and it's either be really fun or really awkward because of the said fight. So we're going to be going to, we're actually going to be going to the Stanley Hotel, the Shining Hotel. So we're super excited about that.
We're staying for 2 nights at a suite at the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, Greg, and thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it and all your support. And we're looking forward to seeing you in Vegas for sure. Okay. Moving on. Now that we're 15 minutes into the show, I did want to say a couple of other things. First of all, it's October, my favorite month of the year. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't know if anyone can see little bits of my shirt and they're like, looks like she's got a heart on her shirt. That doesn't seem very Katy-like. Get it, Katy-like? Check it out, guys. October's my favorite month because it is the month of Halloween, which is my favorite holiday. So I was pretty excited to throw on this shirt that Victoria got for me. So thank you very much. And then the other thing about it being October, supposedly it's the beginning of the 4th quarter. What do you think? We need like a special 4th quarter Groundhog's Day, some sort of signal or sign where we know, will there be a 4th quarter this year? Will 4th quarter deliver this year? It kind of didn't last year for us anyway. Do you think it's going to happen?
I really don't know. I think it's going to be tough to tell. I think it really is going to depend on what you sell in your stores. We all tend to see an uptick in Q4, regardless of what we sell. I think some of the people that sell new product that tend to see a huge uptick this time of the year are not necessarily going to see it because of the supply chain interruption, because they're just not going to be able to get their hands on stuff. Now, those of you that were paying attention and were able to stock up prior to this, in anticipation of the supply chain interruption, you may end up having a better Q4 than others. I don't know. I'm not one of those people because it's not what I sell.
Right.
I've always sold vintage and used items, and I have always done very, very well in Q4. You wouldn't think with what I sell that I would, but I've always done very well. Last year was the first year I did not see a Q4 uptick at all. I had a very good year overall.
Last year for both of us,
there was none. There was no uptick.
We had our best sales year ever. Just a reminder for you guys who are new, our businesses are completely separate, but we each had our best year of sales ever last year. So I will say, for one thing, that kind of sets us up a little bit for some disappointment this year. Mm-hmm. Another thing is, at least our experience with our two separate businesses has been that eBay has been way underperforming this year. So I don't know. Luckily, because of using tools like List Perfectly, we both have more platforms this year than we did last year. So I think that's going to be our saving grace. But I don't anticipate being able to do more than, at best, match our numbers last year.
Yeah,
if we're lucky.
I can say, and I've been saying this all along, my numbers on eBay have been in the toilet since February.
Real bad.
I've been 40% down since February on eBay. And my other platforms have pretty much made up for it. So I'm pretty much even. I'm almost even. I'm probably like 10 to 15% down overall year to date from last year. And I think last year was an anomaly in sales because of COVID in general. So I'm about 10 to 15% down overall across all platforms, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
However, that means that my other platforms are performing very well because eBay is sucking for me.
Real bad. Well, for you, we're even worse than me, just because generally your eBay is quite a bit higher than mine. And so
I have barely been able to break $6,000 a month on eBay for the past 6 months. And I'm generally $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 on eBay.
So it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I was looking at my numbers for this year so
same
far,
number of listings,
and comparing them to last year. And I realized in these last 3 months of the year, if I want to hit the same numbers on eBay, I think I have to average like 7,700 for the next 3 months. I don't see that happening with the way numbers have been going unless there's a huge increase in my eBay sales, but I don't know. And then on Etsy, if I want to break even on Etsy, like hit the same numbers, I think I have to get like 3,500 a month for the next 3 months.
I'm not going to.
It might happen, but again, it's like I'm not really sure. But then we have other platforms, like I know my Grailed is up slightly over last year, so that's cool. So we'll see.
I absolutely not beat my eBay numbers. There's no way.
No beating. There's no beating.
I won't even meet it. I'm off about $40,000 this year. Yeah. I'm not going to make up $40,000 in addition to what I need to maintain for the next 90 days. That's not possible for me on eBay. So Lori, I don't know. I honestly, I wish I could tell you why. I have a few theories, but I don't have any. I mean, I've been on eBay for 20 years.
I don't think it's just that, because other platforms are doing well. Like my Etsy is.
You didn't even let me finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
So I really don't know how to answer that, because I have some theories, but I don't, being on eBay as long as I have, I'm not just throwing it out there by saying, I have obviously a track record to compare it to. I've had the same number of listings, or relatively within 100 or 200 listings, the same number of listings for the past 3 years in a row. Last year, there was a huge uptick in sales. Like I said, I do think that was an anomaly because of COVID. I think a lot of people were shopping online that normally didn't. And a lot of people found eBay and Etsy that normally did not shop that way. So I think last year's number was a bit of an anomaly, and I'm okay with that. So I did expect for it to be down a little bit this year, but what I did not expect was for it to be down significantly from the year prior.
Right.
I expected to at least be able to compare the prior year to this year. So having the track record that I do have numbers and years to go by. So I don't really know. I can say without List Perfectly, I am selling, 1/3 of my business is on eBay right now. 1/3. That's eBay crazy. Used to be 75% of my business.
Yeah. And that's the thing. What I was going to say is, saying that it's because there's so many people selling now. I don't think that's it. I think it's I think yes, more competition probably is a little bit of it, but I think
there's always been a lot of competition.
I think there's something much bigger happening with the eBay platform itself that's such drastic drop in numbers. And I know at least in the categories I sell in, when they show you the comparison of like your numbers compared to last month and last year, and they show eBay on my categories at least is down overall. And so any of you, I keep hearing over and over and over again, people talking about sending out offers and people saying, it's telling me don't ship to me. It's telling me this. It's not letting me accept your offer. It's not. I feel like there's a lot of issues going on. And I don't know how much that's affecting it because but it's been a significant decrease that I'm not seeing on other platforms. So to me, it's like, unless just suddenly eBay is the only one getting a huge influx of new sellers, that doesn't quite make sense to me.
Yeah, and because I sell vintage items, and and Katy does as well, Tommy, I do believe that disposable income does have something to do with sales. That does definitely reflect luxury items for sure. However, the type of items that I have always sold has not really ever been affected by the economy. Yeah. If that makes sense. Selling vintage is somewhat of a niche market. And the things that I'm selling have never really been affected by the economy because people buy vintage because they're collectors and they're connoisseurs of a certain style. And that is usually not something that the people that have that type of disposable income or that type of style aesthetic are not people that are generally affected by small economy changes. And I know I'm using an overall message by saying that, but that's just what I've found over the years.
Yeah.
There are offshoots of that can go in either direction. Sure. There's a small percentage in either way. It's the same thing as like the luxury car business. When the economy goes in the toilet, the luxury car business is not affected because people that purchase luxury cars are not affected by the economy. Their businesses are always going to do well. And I say this because my ex-husband actually managed luxury car dealerships for 20 years. So we used to talk about that type of thing. So it's just I know it's just one of those weird things that happen in the economy.
All right. I just wanted to get in a little Q4 talk just to acknowledge that it has supposedly begun. But it remains to be seen how we will actually perform. So let's go ahead and start our show. 22 minutes in here.
I know. Sorry, guys.
We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our real numbers, our gross numbers for the last week, break down the fees, cost of goods, things such as that. Then our middle part of the show, we look at some of our sales highlights for the week, some of the stuff that we sold. I really had to dig for that. And then the last part is our haul. I actually do have a little mini haul. I didn't get as much stuff as I wanted to, but this is from last week. And so I'll show some of that from yesterday's fits. And then you have some stuff as well. I think we have all clothing. Sorry, guys.
We do have all clothing.
Been having a whole lot of.
I have been having difficulty. There is a dearth of hard goods in this town.
Yeah.
I will say I did finish the inventory. My daughter actually finished the inventory. She was here for 2 weeks. We had a great visit. She finished the inventory. We do have a winner to our guess for how many items fell off the inventory or close to it.
Now, when you went into the inventory thing, you were thinking that you were going to have like hundreds of items that had fallen off.
Yes.
And that did not end up being the case.
It was not the case.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, and I'm glad that I did it. Here's my rundown on the inventory. We'll do it now.
Okay, go ahead.
So it took 2 weeks. It could have probably been done in like 4 days, but my daughter was like, did a couple hours here, took 2 days off, did a couple hours there. It was fine. So I have 3,700 items roughly. Out of all of the clothing items, she found maybe 25 items that had fallen off of eBay, maybe 25. The hard goods were where there were more. There were twice as many hard goods that had fallen off, a little over twice as many. So overall, the entire number of items that had fallen off of eBay, nowhere to be found, that just fell off into the ether, was 76.
76 guys, didn't even hit 100. So I went through, we had given a challenge to people a few weeks ago, to give their guesses, and whoever was the closest was going to get some sort of prize. And so you got them some
I got you some swag.
Overall skirt.
No.
Just kidding.
So we're going to send you some swag. We're going to send you, we've got a fun List Perfectly t-shirt here. So we've got some List Perfectly swag because they send us swag to give out, and I have a bunch of it, and I got to get some out to you. We've got a little eBay, coin purse type of, I don't know, not a coin purse, maybe like
coin purse.
I don't know.
A big, who's walking around with all that change?
I don't know, like makeup bag, a sunglass holder.
No, you can put all kinds of stuff in there.
Pencil holder, snacks. Whatever.
You can put your measuring tape.
List perfectly bottle opener.
Yeah,
when
you need to take a break and drink something.
List perfectly button. List perfectly measuring tape.
There you go. Everybody needs multiple measuring tapes in their house.
Get a little boss up pin.
That's a list perfectly pin. Can you read?
Boss up pin.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
list
holding up a
perfectly sticker. And we got some boss up stickers.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the closest person was. Katy.
Maybe I'll throw some pixie sticks in there too, because everybody likes pure sugar, right? Okay, so we had a few people that were pretty close, but the closest. Actually, first of all, I'm going to give the honorable mention goes out to our friend Britt, who stole Allison's favorite number and guessed 69. So he gets an honorable mention by being the second closest.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And then, but the actual winner guessing 72.
That's close.
Only 4 away. 72. So we didn't set Price is Right rules where it's like you couldn't go over, but they followed the Price is Right rules. 72, only 4 away. Nature Fam. So I'll go back and comment underneath them if they're not watching today or they don't see this video to make sure they can get in touch with us so we can send this out to you. But Nature Fam guessed 72. And we will send that stuff out. Yeah, see, Allison, very upset. Very upset. that was her number to guess, and Britt stole it. But you can have words with him at the Boss Reseller Remix. While Liz and I are fighting, maybe we can do a double rumble in the streets. It'll be great. All right, let's go ahead and look at our numbers now that we're a good half hour into the show. Let's look at what I've got going on here. So, guys, I don't know. Somehow I keep eking by with managing to get over $2,000 in my gross sales for the week, because I think if it was under 2,000, then I'd be real sad. But 14 eBay orders. Youch. That's rough. 6 between Etsy and Thrilling. I gotta say, Etsy was real sad this week. I only 3 of those orders were Etsy. The other 3 were Thrilling, and Etsy, I did maybe $300. Come on, man. Instagram, nothing. Grailed in Mercari. I actually had no Mercari sales, so it was all grailed. So a total of 25 outgoing orders. Lame. Pretty weak, man. Pretty weak. eBay, $1,194.17. Etsy and Thrilling, $655.24. Nothing on Instagram. And then grailed was $249. Like I said, I just barely made it past 2,000 with $2,098.41. So, it is what it is. Shipping, $144.31. And then you can see the breakdown of eBay fees, Etsy fees, Grailed Mercari fees. I've got Etsy and Thrilling together because they're real close. And then you can see my total costs there. Cost of goods, $350. So my net total sales, $1,373.01. My gross average sale price, pretty good. I had some good high dollar amount items sell. So my ASP is $83.94. 70 is always my goal, to get 70 or above. So that in that case, I'm doing pretty good this week. My net average sale price after all my costs, $54.92. So I'm actually pretty happy with at least my average sale price. But I'm so ready for a real Q4 to kick in. Can we have it happen?
Well, to be fair, we definitely in the last 3 months have not worked as much as we normally do.
That is true.
Because we've been focused so much on building this reseller remix, and it has taken hundreds of hours of work away from our actual work. So
that's true. I would say I've been putting in at least half of
and
my hours.
You've put in more than I have.
At least half of my hours every week has been going into the remix. So that is very true. I would have had a lot more stuff listed this summer if I wasn't working on that. So it's definitely taken a lot away from my regular business. But that's okay, guys. I'm willing to sacrifice.
You're worth it.
So, but I've still been keeping my listings up. My listing numbers have managed to stay up. I've been able to keep above 2,300 listings on eBay and across my other platforms, but whatever. All right, let's go ahead and look at your numbers, which you actually did pretty decent. No thanks to eBay.
No thanks to eBay.
No thanks to eBay, but you're over 3,500 for the week. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this is a good week for me. 3,600 in sales is a good week. 3,500 is where I want to be. 3,500 to 4,000 is really where I want to be every week. That is kind of where that's my comfort zone. So, anything over that is fantastic, but I really do want to stay there. And as I said, that is not thanks to eBay this year. So 27 eBay orders. That's shit.
eBay this week.
15 on Etsy, 14 on Poshmark.
Crazy.
3 on Mercari. I think one of those is, where's my...
No, you didn't say anything else.
I did, because I have 2 on Depop.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, I do. I did right here.
You usually, I'm just telling you, usually you put it over here. You don't.
Sorry, so you didn't, I'm sorry, let me do this. So at 27 eBay, I have 12 Etsy, 1 Thrilling, 2 Depop.
Okay.
That makes up that 15.
Gotcha.
Thrilling and Depop are about the same because they're both 10%. So I wanted to put that up with Etsy. So 14 on Poshmark and 3 on Mercari for a total of 59 outgoing orders. So not even 1,300 on eBay for the week. That's total bull crap. But I did do combined with Etsy, Thrilling, and Depop. I did 1,305. Poshmark 900 for the week. Mercari 131 for a total of 36,1842. Shipping 273. And then you have the breakdown of the fees, 155-ish, 110, 180, 17, total cost 737. My cost of goods relatively low. A lot of my stuff I get either $4 an item or I've picked up at the bins for about $1 a piece. So $27.33.92. So my gross average sale price, I like to keep it at 60. It was a good average sale price this week, $61. And my net average sale price of $46. So this was a good week for me.
Yeah. See, you didn't do too bad after all that hemming and hawing about.
No, I actually, but
still,
all I look at daily on the weekly is because you're looking at your summary screen every day is the eBay week, and I look at my eBay week and go, Jesus, what the hell is that?
Well, I mean, I will say that when you're looking at these numbers, we've talked about this before. It's a relative experience for everyone, but when you're trying to build a business and you're seeing growth year over year, and you're used to in this area it being 3,000 or above every week. And then you're seeing that cut while you're going up in some other areas. It does make it really hard to plan ahead. It's like you're ready to, you want to get some warehouse space. You want to hire more help. You're ready to expand.
I'm ready to expand. And because my business has been down this year, it did not take the trajectory that I expected to this year. I've had to put that on hold and hoping that I get there and I'm able to do it next year. I wanted to expand into warehouse space this year. And I could not justify expanding into warehouse space when my sales are down.
Right.
I'm not going to take on an added expense when I don't have an added, the added income.
Yep. All right. You want to jump right into
quick question for Miss Florida Sunshine. Do you ever list on Bonanza? Yes. I was on Bonanza for about 12 years. And I got about 2 to 3 sales a year, and it just wasn't worth my time. So I unsynced my account probably at some point earlier this year.
See, I think I stopped.
I was on Bonanza from the day that they created themselves as an account. So as a business, so 12, 13 years maybe. I only did the free thing. If you want to do it, do the free one.
I'm sure
don't pay for it.
There's got to be somebody out there who's like actually doing well on Bonanza.
But yeah, it was never worth it. So I just unsynced my account. I didn't want to keep track of yet another platform. It wasn't worth it for me.
All right, let's jump into these sales highlights. And what are these fancy pants?
So I picked these up. I think I showed these in a haul because I picked these up for under $10 at Savers, and it was an anomaly because everything at Savers has been so redonkulously priced lately that I was shocked that they had these on the rack for under $10. That is not what they sold for. They actually sold for $95. I'd sent an offer out to watchers. They sold for $95.
Okay.
They weren't vintage ACG. If they'd been vintage, they would have sold for more.
So I figured I'd show this one because of the other Donald Duck ringer tee that I've sold, you sold, and I think doesn't Deb still have hers listed or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so I have this Donald Duck 80s sweatshirt that I love, and it's so cute. This one, a lot of my sales end up being offers to watchers or offers to buyers. I almost feel like that's the only way we sell anything anymore. When I do have a full price sale, it's shocking.
It's true.
But this one was, I think maybe they made an offer for $67 and I accepted because I paid $10 for it. So I was willing to part with it for $67. But it's such a cute little sweatshirt. Look at
It
how
is cute.
Look how cute Donald Duck is. Mickey Mouse gets all the action. I feel like Donald Duck, he's cute. So
yeah, Allison, I think the pay-per-click might be screwing with views. I don't know. I can say that I'll never do pay-per-click on eBay. I did it on Etsy for well over a year. It does not pay, so it is not worth it. I won't.
Etsy used to work, and then it stopped working, and I started spending more than I was making, and it was ridiculous. So, but there was once upon a time, like last year
when it first started, it was worth it.
No, longer than that. It worked for me a lot longer than it worked for you. And I was getting like half of my sales were from promoted listings. It was crazy. All right. Next up for you.
This did not sell for that. I've had this for quite a while. I think I've had this listed for, this is a vintage soft sculpture, Xavier Roberts. This is before Cabbage Patch Kids. This was early.
I remember when you got this.
Yeah, I've had this for probably 2 years. So it's been a while. I sold it finally, an offer for $195. It was hand signed by Xavier Roberts, the whole thing. I thought I was going to sell it for more, but I think it just got whatever. It's been sitting there for a long time.
How much did you sell for?
180. Did you say 185? I think I just said.
Okay. Still pretty good. Pretty good.
I think I paid like $10 for it, but I've had it for about 2 years.
Yeah, I remember when you got it. Okay. Let's see. So I sold this, did not sell it for the price you see there. I let it go for cheaper than I wanted to, but when your numbers are low, you just want to make some money. But I haven't had this for very long. I only got it like a few weeks ago, and I took an offer for $100. I think I paid like $50 for it, so I really didn't make a bunch of money. I really wanted to sell it for $150 or more, and I think I could have gotten that. But again, got to bring some money in, guys. Got to keep the business flowing. So I love this t-shirt though.
It is a pretty fun t-shirt.
Look how cute he is.
So Naomi asked, what's your secret on Poshmark? I can't seem to sell my vintage on there. Say, Naomi, if you have a lot of items on Poshmark, you need to find a sharing service. Automated services used to be listed as against terms of service on Poshmark. Their terms of service no longer list automated services as being against their terms of service. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I will say that if you have a very large closet and you are successful on Poshmark, you are using a sharing service. You're paying someone to do it for you. You're paying someone to share it for you, or you're paying a service to do it for you. There is nobody that is doing it by themselves with a large closet. It's not possible. No. It's not feasible. It's not physically possible. It is not something that can be done. And Poshmark knows that. If you're not abusing the system, if you're not running 75 bots, and if you're not creating fake accounts, and if you're not doing completely shady, crappy stuff, then you're safe if you're doing it reasonably and responsibly. I'm not going to recommend any type of services. That's not my thing. But I will say that is the only way if you have a large closet that you're going to start to see success on Poshmark. They used to have it as absolutely bots or services were against their terms of service. That was a no-no. That is no longer the case. I'm not going to say they encourage it, but it is no longer listed as against their terms of service if you were to look it up. Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Next up for you.
I picked this up in the bins.
Nice.
So I paid like $150 for it. And I had this like listed for a month, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm. So you want to see what you sold it for?
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh.
Sold for $80.
That's crazy. That's pretty good.
And it's not even anything special. It was just a vintage Packers. Hey, Courtney Common Tags. It's good to see your face, your tag in there.
Hey-o. Anyway, yeah, this is Heather Gray stuff is, that was big in the 90s. It's big now. But yeah, people underpriced their professional sports, college sports stuff.
It was a nicely embroidered one. It wasn't like a screen printed one. So it had like that thick satiny embroidery on it.
Yeah. Looks good. All right. Well, what happened to that picture?
I don't know. Why is it so pixelated? That's weird.
What'd you do?
I don't know.
All right.
I didn't take it like that.
Next up, Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I've had this t-shirt for a little while, probably at least 6 months or so. And I actually didn't pay a lot for it. I think I paid like $20-25 to Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. And this one was one of the rare sales I had that recently that was for full price. So I did sell it for $139.99, and it went to Australia. So not only did I get $139.99, I also got paid for shipping. And since I use Pirate Ship, and I get such a great deal with their simple export rate, I made even more money off of the shipping money because it didn't cost me all that to send it. So I was pretty stoked about that. For anyone who's seen the announcement that the eBay made a while back about the USPS halting their first class international shipping to Australia for at least a while. Some issues there because of COVID. They just
added New Zealand too.
Yeah, so because of COVID, there are some issues where basically if you try to ship something first class international to Australia, most likely it's going to come back to you. So, but if you are using Pirate Ship and their simple export rate, you are good to go and you can still ship to Australia just fine.
And as Liz said, she's said exactly what I said, that it is no longer in the terms of service that bots are not allowed with Poshmark. And exactly, they're never going to say it's okay.
Yeah.
But it is no longer in the terms of service that they're not allowed. And so Kim Murphy says, I heard vintage doesn't sell good on Posh. Well, that's all I sell. I only sell vintage, and I'm selling $2,000 to $3,000 a month on Posh. So whoever told you that was wrong.
Yeah. All right. Next up for you, what you got here?
This is just I picked, I think this might be from the bins too. I'm not entirely sure.
Merry Christmas.
This is either from the bins or this is from Atlanta, our trip to Atlanta. It's just a vintage, heavy, beaded velvet Christmas tree skirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just what it says there.
It's very fancy.
It's very fancy.
Very fancy.
Tree skirts are a good thing to
like to get under the tree and sleep on that.
Yeah, or throw up on it.
Aw,
poor she does.
Aw, poor Grizz.
Also sold for $79.95. So I probably have like $3, $3 to $4 invested in that.
Yeah. Very nice. All right. Next up, this is probably my biggest sale of the week, and it is another one that I actually sold full price. So I sold it for what you see there, $299.59. This is what I actually paid up for. I haven't had it for very long. I got it probably within the last month from yesterday's fits. I did pay $100 for it, but I couldn't pass it up because I love me some Danzig, and I knew it would sell, and so I expected I'd get maybe $200, $225 for it, but somebody bought it full price at $299.59. So I was pretty stoked about that, man. It even has some holes in it.
Seriously,
look at that. It's got some nice fading to it. It's a cool shirt though. 1988. Anyway, nice little sale. So that's actually my biggest sale this week.
That was a good sale,
and I can't believe you sold this. I'm so sad about it.
So if you're friends with Katy on Facebook, you might have seen this as her new profile pic, is her wearing this.
Well, my profile pictures are public, so anyone can see me wearing this on Facebook.
I picked this up in
a couple months ago, I think, right?
Palm Desert, maybe?
Yeah.
Palm Beach, Palm Desert. I got it on a rack for $1.99, and I just thought it was the super fun 80s looking.
And if you remember when she showed it for the haul, I put it on because I thought it was awesome.
We were with Mel and Deb and Sandra.
Yeah.
And we did a live show at Sandra's house.
Yeah. And I loved this. And then I proceeded to completely forget its existence. And then when she sold it, I realized it fits me perfectly now. And it would have been so awesome to wear this for the red carpet at the Boss Reseller Remix, but Vikki doesn't really love me that much because she refused to cancel the sale.
Yep.
And so I was forced to watch her pack it up, and some tears rolled down my face.
So I paid $2 for it. It was like $1.99 sale rack, and I thought it was just a very cool looking piece.
I loved it,
and I knew somebody else would like it too, other than Katy.
Yeah. So that's how much my love is worth, guys. Just saying. She sold it for $130.
Yep. She didn't remember it or want it.
Well, why would I remember it? It was
until she saw me packing it up.
It would have been too small for me when you got it, and now seriously, it fits so well.
And now that we're losing weight, now it fits.
Oh,
now that
horrible.
Now that you're skinny again.
Horrible. Anyway, next up for me. Okay, so speaking of stuff of pro sports and college sports selling well. I don't know, I don't follow any of this stuff, but I've recently had a couple of different pieces for Northwestern. And man, people love that stuff. I don't know if they've won something recently or if they're just a really popular team or school.
I don't know, sportsing.
I mean, I know a lot of journalism. There's journalism school there. I've known people that have gone to school there. But anyway, I had a sweatshirt. I seriously had offers and people coming after me on all the different platforms. And the sweatshirt sold for like $70. And then this T-shirt, people were like bugging me on all the platforms. This one guy like wanted me to take 35, and I told him the lowest I would take is 60. And he's like, "Why so expensive?" And he's like, "Come on, I got $40 for you right now." But then somebody else was offering. I literally had like 3 offers open on Grailed, and then it sold for full price on Etsy. And so it's like, this is like a great bread and butter mid for me, $69.99. So it sold for $70. I had it listed for less than a week. And same thing happened with the Northwestern sweatshirt.
That's so weird.
If you see any Northwestern stuff, seriously, guys, I had a lot of activity on both of those items on all my platforms, and they both sold.
Why
for
was it
higher
so
amounts.
popular?
And then I was happy to respond. I hadn't even responded to the guys who, "Why so much?" Because I just get sick of questions like that. And so then I respond back to him. And I said, because I know how much it'll sell for, and it just sold for $70. And it's like, you could have bought it for 60. You joik. Anyway. Next. Ooh, look at that fancy
This
thing.
was my fun sale on Depop. I don't sell a lot on Depop. I've probably sold 7 or 8 items now in the whole time that I've been on there, but I also don't put much on there. I put my like curated vintage on there. I think I have 100 items listed maybe. So I paid $5 for this. I knew that it was vintage. I showed it on the show, and then I showed it again last week or the week before. I told you guys, oh my God, when Crystal was listing it for me, she found, they had no tags. She found on the zipper pull that it was Dolce & Gabbana. So I was like, I knew it was quality. I knew it was vintage. It felt really nice. I was going to sell it for around 100, 150 anyway, based on how it felt and the style alone. And then found out it was Dolce & Gabbana. So I was like, hell's yeah, I can sell it for even more than I thought. So it sold for full price on Depop. It was listed for maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. Sold for $399.95 plus shipping, because I charge shipping on Depop. Shipping, actually, I ship myself. So it actually cost me $10 because I did do insurance on it, even though it went first class because it was $400.
Yep.
So yeah, sold for $400. I paid $5 for it.
Nice.
I was psyched.
But see, you got it through pirate ship, right?
Yes.
See, I would much rather send something first class through pirate ship and pay for the insurance than trying to do priority, because I feel like they're always going to protect you. So
yeah, because if I'm going to use USPS, and I need to do, well, I do all of my shipping through pirate ship. I don't ship anything through eBay anymore. Just because for a couple of reasons, their shipping prices are almost always lower or exactly the same. And I have a points card that I have attached to pirate ship that I use to pay for my shipping. There's no benefit for me to use eBay, so I don't anymore.
And their insurance is way cheaper.
First of all. Second of all, their insurance is cheaper. And thirdly, their insurance claims are paid because they're using ShipSaver and they don't fight you on insurance claims. And USPS no longer pays priority insurance claims. They make it an absolute hassle. I lost probably $1,200 last year on insurance claims because of USPS, and I will never, ever use them again for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love them. All right. Sandra says the dress belongs in a busty romance novel model. Very good. Very good. Okay. Next up, this isn't like a super exciting thing, but, I always say
nerd shirt,
nerd alert. And the next couple shirts I'm going to show you that like it doesn't even have to be like anything that particularly cool. I just the shirt, it's like it's a freaking computer rental company. It's not even like it's for Mac or Apple or whatever, or PC or anything cool. It's just some computer rental thing, and I sold it for $43. I paid like $5 for it and sold it for $43. So vintage tech, anything tech related, I always pick up. Even the stuff that's super boring like this, I know I'm still going to be able to make some money on it. It's just a 90s computer t-shirt. Next up, you.
So this sold on Posh. I had a couple of higher priced sales on Posh this week. As you know, I tend to use Posh as like my clearance center. I don't get my higher average sale price on Posh very often because we all know Posh people are cheap. I'm sorry, they just are. But I was happy to sell these. I had gotten these from an estate sale, a bundle that I purchased from Sally and Rudy. They tend to pick up bundles for me at estate sales, and they find fun vintage clothing for me, and I buy them from them, give them a little vig on top of their the purchase price for doing the legwork for me, because they know I like vintage stuff. So I can't remember exactly what I paid for these, but I bought a bundle of items for like, I think $100 or so. So I would say maybe $10. Just vintage buffalo plaid wool hunting trousers with suspenders.
Some sweet suspenders.
They're pretty cool. They were very tiny though. They had a very, very tiny waist. So they would have had to go for either a woman or a very tiny man. So they sold for $87.
Very tiny hunter.
Very tiny hunter man.
All right.
I think they're very hipstery. I don't think they need to be hunter. I mean, somebody super cool could totally pull this look off.
Yeah.
With the right outfit.
Vintage Tech. So I actually sold this to the same guy. He bought 2 Vintage Tech t-shirts for me on Grailed. So the other one was $43 and this one's $48. Again, I paid like $5 for it. And again, this one isn't even that exciting. I mean, the graphics kind of cool, but this is for a freaking tech conference in Georgia. But I like it's got the little astronaut. It's got your floppy disks there. It's just, your mouse, your Mizzous, and your computer. But it's just a pretty basic t-shirt for a freaking conference, guys. Who knew? Save your conference tees.
I agree, Deb. Those would be cool ska pants. I think they would be cool. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking like I can picture like even a Gwen Stefani type girl wearing those with like a white ribbed wife beater and the right kind of Doc Martens. Like I could see that look. You nailed it. That was exactly what I was picturing somebody wearing. When I buy clothes like this, it's because I can absolutely see the aesthetic of the person that could wear vintage clothing. It's not something I can pull off usually. But I can totally envision when I buy clothing that's vintage, even if it's fun, funky, weird, or, even ugly vintage, people think, I totally can picture the right type of person wearing it the right way, accessorized the right way. I can envision this on people. And that's probably why I should be stylizing these clothes somehow to sell them the right way. But I just don't have the time to do that. I sell too much quantity. But I can see it and I can envision it. And hopefully those are the people that buy the pieces that I purchase.
All right. Next up for you. Ooh, I found this for you.
Did you find this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That was at the outside estate sale. Yeah. So I purchased this at the outside estate sale, same place that I bought the Dolce & Gabbana dress. So I paid $5 for this as well. This is vintage Eddie Bauer. I showed this on the show also. Mm-hmm. Vintage Eddie Bauer goose down robe. A bathrobe that was goose down in case you want to walk outside in a blizzard in your bathrobe.
Maybe in Colorado
and have some coffee.
Or in Alaska.
So anyway, it's super. I paid $5 for it. I took an offer on Posh for $85. I think I had it listed for $125, which actually that's a pretty fair offer on Posh. I'm surprised they didn't offer me $5. That's the norm. But $85 I was perfectly fine with because that's probably what I would have had it on sale for on eBay or right around there. And $5 at $85, I think I could have gotten maybe around $100 or so. But it wasn't listed for very long. Maybe listed a week or two.
Yeah. Very nice. All right. This one actually isn't a very exciting sale because this is a Michael Jordan t-shirt that I've had for probably at least a year. I think I paid like $60 for it, and then I only sold it for $88, and then after fees and shipping, I really didn't make any money on it. It's like I had this for a long time, and Jordan stuff was really hot. I mean, it still is popular, but I feel like there was a moment where it was super hot, like especially last year when that documentary came out. Mm-hmm. And so this is one of the things I bought, and for some reason this one just took forever to sell. And then when somebody offered $88, I was like, whatever, get it out the door. I'm sick of seeing it in my pile. So so it's actually not very exciting. This is more one that I shouldn't have paid up for as much as I did. So there you go.
You're just happy to get rid of it.
Pretty much. All right, there you go.
This is one that came from my, I had given you two things.
Oh, so I thought the other one was a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. It was the title. So I could talk about what it was instead of just looking at the red coat.
I can tell you right now. I'll look it up for you.
She don't listen to me, guys. This is what happens when
you never send me that stuff. You never send me that stuff normally. Here you go.
Anyway, so this is a vintage 1960s. It's a Hudson's Bay, the blanket company. So it was a Hudson's Bay blanket jacket, and just with the plain red 1960s. And this sold for what you see there, $250.
It's a clothing vault jacket, isn't it?
Yep, it came from the clothing vault. my buyout of the Clothing Vault merchandise. The Clothing Vault was the vintage clothing store that was owned by List Perfectly prior to, for the last several years. So it sold for $250. I've had it listed about a year because it was just about a year ago that I picked up all of that merchandise. So just about a year, just under a year. It took me a while to get it listed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fantastic jacket. I had actually had 2 of those. One had a black band in the middle of it. I had a customer that was messaging me a bazillion times about this jacket, and he was waiting to get paid. And he was so adamant that he wanted this jacket that I increased the price really high, knowing that nobody else was going to buy it, waiting for him to send me an offer, because he kept telling me that I promise you I'm going to buy it. I'm like, I felt bad for the guy. I'm like, all right, whatever. You can buy it.
Yeah.
And he did. He came through on the day that he said he was going to.
Nice. All right. Next up for me, this is the eBay listing, but I actually sold this on Thrilling, as I told you guys before. Thrilling, there isn't really an easy way to show sales that we can show to you guys. So I'm going to show you this. But I actually sold 2 things to the same person. I'm not going to name them. Vikki thinks I'm being weird, but whatever. But first of all, I was super excited because I sold 2 things, and the other one I sold, I will show you here in a little bit. I sold 2 things to the same person. I was so excited about it. And I was like, woohoo, 2 items to the same person on Thrilling. It's my first time on Thrilling. And then I looked at who it was going to, and I'm not going to say, no, you shut your mouth. I'm not going to say who they are, but it is hands down probably the most famous person I've sold something to. It was very exciting, and it kind of made my heart skip a little bit of a beat. And I was like, that's awesome. So I was very excited. It definitely made me really curious and excited about Thrilling and how they do their marketing, because it does seem like they're definitely hitting very specific audiences, and the people who are buying from them or responding to their marketing. I don't know if you guys have seen any Thrilling ads and stuff. They're all over my social media. Part of that's probably because we talk about them and we use them, but
The only I'm going to say I've sold to a couple of famous people already on Thrilling, not as famous as that person, but one of the people I sold to was Diana DeGarmo. She was on American Idol.
Yeah.
I sold her a vintage dress. But there was every person that I have sold to through Thrilling has been in New York, LA, or Nashville.
Yeah.
So I feel like they are heavily marketing to a wealthy individuals, or to maybe the Hollywood aesthetic, as opposed to your everyday person.
Well, and also Thrilling, if you haven't really looked into them very much, it's women owned. I think there's 3 women at the top of it.
Yep.
Women of color. And they heavily tout the fact that 90% or over 90% of their sellers are women. And they heavily focus their marketing on small businesses that are minority owned, and that's who they're trying to. So I think they do a lot of marketing where it's people that have a little bit more disposable income, but also like the idea of supporting smaller businesses and minority owned businesses. And then another thing that they did is they recently started this thing that I signed up for. You had to go and sign paperwork for it. They've partnered up with a bunch of production houses, for television, movies and stuff like that. And so at some point, potentially, somebody who does costuming for a television show might rent something from my store. And in which case I get 20% of the list price. It goes to them. They have to return it within 30 days. If they don't return it within 30 days, I get paid the full amount of whatever I had it listed for. Otherwise, I'll get it back within 30 days. I'm trying it out. I get that it's not a great deal to be renting my stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, how cool would it be to have a t-shirt of mine be on somebody on a television show? Or
Jacob Michael says, I'm going to pretend she sold to Miley. I would say this person is just as famous as Miley.
Yeah. In some ways, a little more exciting to me. But although I love Miley Cyrus, so actually,
you would be psyched
to be honest. I would be pretty stoked if it was Miley Cyrus as well. But I still think the little bit elevated. But anyway, so I sold this shirt, and this price actually isn't what I sold it for. I sold it. They take all of my pricing from my Etsy store, and so I actually sold it for $149.99. I bought this shirt. I didn't pay a lot for it. I paid $20 for it. So I paid $20 and I sold it for $150 on Thrilling. So, and then I'll show you the other one here after Vikki shows her last one.
This is just a vest that this also came from the Clothing Vault, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I think I forgot. I did forget. I don't remember where the heck it came from.
Okay.
This was something that had fallen off of eBay. And it had fallen off of eBay, and then I recross-posted it. I found it on Poshmark, or List Perfectly through Poshmark.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to relist it, and it sold the next day on Etsy. So this is something that through doing my inventory, I resold. I have actually sold 5 things that I've relisted. Nice. Sold for $89.95 on Etsy. Nice. I probably have, I either have $5 or nothing into it. It's one of the two. So
yeah. Deb, it's female, not male. All right. Anything else with this one?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. And then the other item I sold to this person is this freaking awesome 70s, actually I think the movie came out in 1978. So I don't know why I have 80s there. Skateboard, the movie t-shirt, which I think I think it was released on home video probably in the 80s. But anyway, super cool t-shirt. I got this last year when I bought a bunch of stuff from a guy on eBay, a bunch of movie stuff, and I paid $20 for it. And I had this priced on Etsy for $199.99. So that's the price it went for on Thrilling. And I will say with Thrilling, it's been really interesting. We don't cross post there because the way they work is you send them a CSV file from your Etsy store and they do all the work for you. So it's actually pretty sweet. And then like every few weeks, maybe once a month, I can send in an updated CSV with stuff on it. But the reports aren't the greatest. This is basically, I'll show you my first full month. I just figured I would show this to you. You can see my first full month. I had like a couple of sales at the end of August, but my first full month of September ended up being just under $1,000. But seriously, that's with almost no work. I send them a CSV file. They list everything for me. And I basically and they send you the shipping label and then I just ship it out. But I think it was $970 something was my total. But you can see right there, the last 2 things I sold. Now I haven't sold anything in the last week since like last Sunday, but
me either. I sold 1 thing this week.
Yeah. But you can see right there, it says, $200, $150, and then we get 90%. And that's how much they paid out.
My first full month on Thrilling was $2,300 in sales.
Nice. It's going to be interesting to see how Q4 goes on Thrilling.
So Cheryl asked, were my items on List Perfectly that had fallen off of the inventory? No, actually, about 20 of them were. About 20 were, which means that the ones that had fallen off well over a year ago, because I started putting every single thing into my List Perfectly catalog about a year ago. Mm-hmm. That was when whenever they lifted the catalog limits was when I started putting everything in. So which I think was about a year ago. I didn't do it before because I had far more than my catalog, than the catalog would have allowed.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for sales highlights. You want to get into our haul?
Yeah, let's and we'll go through the haul pretty quickly. I know we lagged a little bit this week. Sorry, guys. I know some of you care, some of you don't. Clearly, we've got 2 angry people that cared because we've got 2 thumbs down already from our super fans.
They're just so sad because we didn't have a show last week and they came to show their displeasure. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's a cool picture disc.
It is. It's like my only hard good I wanted to show because I thought it was kind of cute.
And I like the case for it. As somebody who, I know you're going to show this in a second, as somebody who collects vinyl, I don't know if anyone else collects vinyl out there, picture discs tend to be terrible because the packaging is always like plastic. So that's actually really good. Go ahead and show it. That's actually a really good.
So I paid 25 cents for this because I got it at the bins.
I love it.
It's just a Disney Mickey's Christmas Carol picture disc. Well, apparently there's not that many of them. There's a few listed right now, and I think a couple have listed them a little bit too low. But I think I'm going to list it and probably put it a little bit higher because we're not quite into Christmas yet, and I'm going to obviously sell it international. So I think I'm going to list it in the $50 to $60 range. I think it's really cute.
Cool.
That is literally my only hard good item, but I got it.
I like it visually. I like it.
Yeah.
Picture discs I think are dumb. The packaging's terrible. Again, that one's pretty good. And they don't sound good either because of the way they make them. But
what is a picture disc? A picture disc just means that look, it's got this is a record album, and this is what this is vinyl, and this is what it looks like. This is the record.
But they like lay the picture down on top of it and then push it into the groove, so it just doesn't sound as good.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of dumb. Anywho, all right, what else you got? Oh, apparently Sebastian Bach collects vinyl.
Well, he lives here in town now, so and a lot of our friends have run into him and actually hang out with him. So eventually, I'm sure we're gonna. Mutual friends that I have that you don't really know that well. So I see him in pictures all the time now because now
I don't.
If I were still hanging out with some of the people that I used to hang out with before we started dating, I would be at parties with him.
Yeah, and you'd be hanging out with a bunch of dicks.
I
think therefore you're better off. Continue on.
Anyway, so one of the things that I also picked up at the bins, and again, I love vintage children's clothing, but it takes a while for it to sell usually. But this one I had to pick up because it was so stinking cute. So vintage corduroy Peter Rabbit.
Real cute.
And it has this really old label, Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter. It's in Korean. So I love this little thing. I don't know what I'm going to list it for. Again, I'll probably list this in the $40 to $50 range. So
what's the brand? Just Peter Rabbit?
It's just Beatrix Potter. Yeah, there's nothing by that.
What decade is it from?
I would probably say 70s.
All right. I should probably check with my Australia guy because his wife collects kids vintage. Maybe I can get you a deal.
All right.
You don't care?
Yeah, sure. He can buy it from me direct. I don't mind.
That's what I'm saying.
I picked up from my weekly source that I pick up from my BCBG lady. I call her that now because I like 70% of what I pick up from her has been BCBG lately. Thankfully, she took mercy on me this week, and it wasn't a lot of BCBG and it wasn't a lot of dresses because I've got dresses coming out of my eyeballs, and poor Crystal is sick of listing dresses. But this is Marc Jacobs, so that's a nice brand to pick up, and it's just this really cute rainbow sort of skater skirt, rainbow tweed. And it's small. So it says large, but there's no way in heck this would ever fit anybody large. It measures as a size small, but I have it listed for about $100. I paid $4 for it. But this whole tweed schoolgirl with tights and chunky shoes thing from the 90s, early Y2K, very in again. So it should sell relatively quickly. I don't remember where this one came from. This one I think came from her as well. This is a vintage Guess, early 90s Guess tag. You can see that right there. This is a men's shirt, although it doesn't really look like a men's shirt because it's sheer.
Well, it's good. It's to showcase your chest hair.
Yeah, I think it's to. This is like 90, like rave, kind of like a rave type of style shirt, I guess. Mm-hmm. So you can have your sweaty chest hair on display.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool looking. It's not silk, but almost silk. It's almost like a chiffon, like in a woman's dress would be, like a chiffon fabric, but not quite chiffon. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't put chiffon in a title because it's not very masculine, but it's a men's shirt. I have this listed for a little over $100. It's great colors and great patterns.
Fancy.
So paid $4 for that as well. Yeah, I don't think it's a juniors large because I'm not sure that Marc Jacobs does juniors, but I could check into that.
Maybe Casey will buy that shirt from you.
Oh, it does look like something Casey would wear. It's not quite bro-y enough for Casey. A little more Robert Graham.
Not quite Robert Graham
enough. Let's see. This was from the estate sale, the outdoor estate sale that I had gone to. So this was another $4 or $5 item. This is just Carol Little, just vintage Carol Little. So 80s to 90s Carol Little. The brand, the brand isn't very important on this, but it's got some great shoulder pads. And this is a big jumpsuit, big, bright, bold pattern with these big wide legs.
Seriously, it's pretty awesome.
So this is kind of fun too. So this is probably $4 or $5. And again, this is something I'll put in my $100, $125
wear that
price
on the red
range.
Carpet?
No. No.
No.
Well, the Marc Jacobs is not vintage though. It's just the vintage look. The Marc Jacobs tag is a current Marc Jacobs tag. Unlike most of the stuff, it's not vintage. Let's see. So this is a vintage tag. This is a vintage tiny dress, but this is a vintage Jam's World.
Does not look like Jam's World because it's so muted.
It's not a bright one, right?
So muted.
It's a muted one, but what it is it's one that has like the shop front. So like the
It's cool.
butcher, the baker.
What about the candlestick maker?
Probably. Did you ever have like, I had this in my kitchen in the 90s. Did everybody have this in their kitchen in the 90s, early 2000s? These were my kitchen curtains, that like French bistro thing going on.
We had a giant painting that my mom had made that was like a produce thing that had like all the different types of produce on it that she had painted. That was really pretty.
Yeah. So
you don't care?
Jam's World tag. Even though it's not super bright, I do still have it priced in like the $75 range. I think it would be, it would definitely sell for more if it were that bright, bold Jam's World type of pattern that the fans really like. Yeah. I'll let you go in a second. I'm just going to show one more. One of the other things that I picked up this week, I've got a couple of these actually. Just you guys know I like to sell robes, bathrobes, women's robes, men's robes. Got this is one of two. This is an Oscar de la Renta. This is the pink label, so it's not super old. The pink label ones are like Y2K. I'll show this right here. So this is just a very pretty robe, satin, long women's robe. Let's probably sell this for about $75. I paid $4 for it.
Nice.
Size large. And you can go now if you'd like.
Oh, thank you. So you sold that Packers hoodie. I hope that means that I'm going to sell my awesome Cliff Ingle Packers.
Oh, Tracy, sorry, I wasn't talking about the house you grew up in. I'm sorry. In the 90s, I had my own house. So I was talking about my own house. I had the curtains with like the whole cafe thing going on.
So I always pick up the Cliff Ingle NFL sweaters and do really, really well with them. I just this is a really tiny haul I got from yesterday's fits last week, but this I paid like $30 for, but I'll sell it for at least $100. These get underpriced all the time, but I always do well with them. And apparently if you're selling freaking hoodies for $70 or $80,
you should get $150
I should
for
at least get $100 out of this, right? Going into the holidays, but just a very nice NFL sweater. Always do well with those. Let's see. Skip the boring stuff here. I literally just put the whole pile of everything I got because I seriously got not much. I'm only showing this Hobbit long sleeve Hobbit shirt because Vikki and I would like to take a moment to memorialize what was once our favorite slot machine here in town at the Green Valley Ranch Casino down the street from our house. And their lease or whatever of that particular machine must have been up because all of a sudden we went in one day and it was gone. And Vikki is not a Lord of the Rings Hobbit fan.
Never saw any of the movies. No. Don't care.
She won't. I'm gonna force her. It's gonna be like Clockwork Orange style. I'm gonna like
toothpicks in my eyes.
Yes, I'm gonna hold her eyes open and force her to watch not the Hobbit so much, but definitely Lord of the Rings trilogy. Anyway, great gameplay on this slot machine, guys. And then one day, just gone. Why they have to do that to us, huh? Makes me real sad. Might have to do some research. Maybe it's somewhere in the city. It's gotta be, right?
I don't know.
Anyway, so it did make me.
There was one at the
nostalgia. The nostalgia of 2 weeks ago hit me, and I had to get it. So there you go. Made me real sad.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Courtney. Thank you for being another female that has never seen any of those movies with me. I appreciate it.
Okay, sorry you're missing out on something awesome. It's crazy because the original trilogy is almost 20 years old and it still looks freaking amazing. So
it's right up there with the Star Wars.
I just picked up
and the Star Trek.
No, I'm sorry that you are incorrect. I'm not a big fantasy person, but I do love me some Lord of the Rings, the books and the movies. And I actually just I just got a 4K Blu-ray player. And I just picked up the 4K box set of Lord of the Rings. So that Clockwork Orange style business is going to be happening real soon. I'm bigger than her. I can overpower her. She's watching it whether she likes it or not. And I'm going to keep her phone away from her too. Anyway, Bryan Adams.
So we're breaking up, guys.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Well, you can't get away if you're trapped. Bryan Adams, Into the Fire, World Tour, 87. I mean, I paid like maybe $20 for this, so I didn't do any comps on it. I'm sure it probably doesn't sell for a crazy amount. Who knows? We'll see. Single stitch, 1987.
So, Carla, just to answer a quick question about Thrilling. Thrilling, you have to apply.
Yeah.
To sell on, it does not approve everyone. You have to be an established seller. You have to have a vintage store. It's vintage only. It is quality vintage. They have to look at what you're selling. You can't sell just anything. You have to be approved to be a seller on Thrilling. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next up, I have this sweet lowrider tee. Love this. There's nothing more 90s than the lowrider clothing. This is a nice big size 3XL. But yeah, I think I only paid like $25 for this. So I'll probably price it like 100. Again, I haven't like done any comps on them. So
the creepy clown skull, that's a birdhouse that our friend Daryl made for her.
It's Crimson Ghost.
It's man. Crimson Ghost
Misfits.
From Misfits.
Or Crimson Ghost movie from forever ago. But yes, Misfits. Seinfeld. Hello, Jerry. Hello, Newman. Cool vintage 1996 t-shirt. Again, don't know how much this goes for. I think I paid like $30 for it. We'll see. Usually you get to a place where you kind of have a feel for what you're willing to pay for something, and you don't really worry about what you're going to sell it for until later. It takes a while to develop that. So this one I grabbed, even though it's pretty boring. Yeah, but I paid $15 for it because it is for the movie High Tension, which was a freaking fantastic movie from 2005. But it's just like a promo t-shirt from it. If anyone hasn't seen High Tension, it's real bloody, guys.
You're welcome, Deb. Dragula is a train wreck that you don't want to look away from.
Dragula. Mm-hmm. Yes, you had to get past the first season. They made a lot of changes to how they filmed it. But yes, for anybody who doesn't know what Dragula is, it's basically RuPaul's Drag Race, only the horror side of things. First season is it's tough to follow because they never show them out of their drag. So it's hard to tell it's hard to keep up on who's who because they're constantly.
And it's super poorly produced and fuzzy.
Right. But like RuPaul, it's like you get to know, they do all the interviews out of drag and in drag. So it's like you get to know who they are and you can kind of follow along. So it took a little while for them to pick up on that in Dragula. But anyway, Bob Seger, 1983. I've sold a couple other Bob Segers for about $100, which is on the high end. This teeny tiny shirt, maybe Frankie could get this and wear it. Do you think he'd look good in it?
Who did you say?
You're not even listening to me.
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
You haven't listened to me. I was trying to be funny. You haven't laughed.
I think when I first met Frankie, he could have worn that shirt.
1984 white snake t-shirt, but it's like super, super short. So it doesn't matter what size.
He had the whole heroin chic thing going on.
Anyway, this one I paid like, I don't know, maybe $40 for it. Who knows how much I'll sell
See,
for
he said, yes, I would. When I first met him, I think he would have worn that.
This here is a Kenny Loggins t-shirt. Apparently he's Jesus. I don't know what's happening.
He totally looks like Jesus.
Or he's in some sort of Disney movie, but there's a unicorn on there. It's 90s Kenny Loggins. Again, no idea how much this should go for. I think I paid like $20 for it on the Fruit of the Loom tag. And here's one of the ones I paid up for. Is this awesome Warner Brothers Looney Tunes movies t-shirt.
I am not saying anything, Frankie. I'm just saying that we've all gotten away from the heroin chic look as we've gotten older.
Rude. It doesn't matter what size you are. It'd be a belly shirt. So I think it's funny. I think it'd be awesome. Anyway, Warner Brothers t-shirt. This one I paid like I think $50 for it. But I always do really well with the Warner Brothers stuff. All right, you can show the rest of yours.
So I also have this this Christian Dior robe that I had picked up. So this was just a vintage. This is vintage. This one's like early 80s Christian Dior. just a white with navy blue. It's a white on white roses pattern with navy blue piping. This did not have a belt with it. So what I did was I took some navy blue satin ribbon, 1-inch satin gross grain ribbon, and just made that into a belt, which means it will not detract from the sale because now it has a belt. And I'll probably sell this for like the 125 range, all that kind of stuff.
Fancy.
Let's see. This is just a brand of a negligee I wanted to talk about. So this is pretty, you're not going to be able to tell in this picture. It's just a very, very long black negligee with a strappy, like nightgown with a strappy back, which is kind of fun. But the brand that I wanted to talk about, because it is a super high-end brand and sells really well, especially depending on what type of pieces you pick up, is this brand right here. Hold on, let me find the tag to show you. Bear with me a second. So it's Lucy Ann. Lucieann. Let's see if I can get this. Can we see that?
There you go.
There we go. Lucy Ann. So if you find any type of lingerie that has that label on it, you're going to get $100 and up for the pieces. So it's just a label that's kind of a bolo that you want to look for. I paid $4 for this item. I think she thought it was a dress. And bye, Sally. See you later. And it's just got a very full bottom, but it's just a big, long black negligee. I'll probably sell this for about $150. And it doesn't look like it would have been anything special. It looks just kind of like a long nightgown. Some of them are much more elaborate than others. The more pleats and ruffles and lace, the more money you're going to get for it. And I'm just going to show one more item and then I can be done. Let me just get this out of the way. I just want to show this because it's kind of like a set, but not quite. So this was one I picked up at that outdoor estate sale with the Dolce & Gabbana dress. And this is just some vintage 80s Paradise Found. That's what the tag looks like. It's just vintage Hawaiian stuff. And this is not coordinated red carpet. Shut your mouth, Laura. But it is just a vintage tank Hawaiian dress with flamingos on it.
You're talking about Sandra and Jacob being coordinated.
Oh, I thought they were talking about us.
Oh, but we should totally do it.
And then they have the men's Hawaiian shirt as well.
Awesome. I don't know why you hate us.
So vintage 80s Hawaiian shirt with the flamingos.
Oh, let's do it.
And I paid, I think, $5 total for the two of these. So the shirt I have listed for $75, and I think I have the dress listed for about the same. Separately, obviously.
Interesting.
That's it.
That's right.
Well, Sandra's coming to our red carpet. I don't think Jacob's coming, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jacob, come on.
You got a few more days to buy a ticket, Jacob.
All right, I'll look through a few of these. Again, I don't even think, I'm like trying to remember if I even have anything all that exciting, but.
And Britt, I told her to show this to you, by the way. Just before you say it, she doesn't even care. She doesn't, because I told her to.
I don't know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this I had just sold another Raiders shirt like this for like $85, and then I got this for $15. So I will put that up for $100. A Toidle shirt. This is just one of those Habitat t-shirts, but it's new with tags. Toidle. New with tags, all over print. Cool turtle shirt. Probably sell this for like $70, but it goes on.
I see your messages, lunch break picker, but that's not the format of the show, so it's not something that we're going to get into on this show.
Yeah, and we don't know anything about any view issues with eBay, so if it's happening, we don't know about it. We're not going to talk about it. So I'm sure it's happening sometimes. This is a cool Olympic Lillehammer sweatshirt from 1994. I always love all the Olympic stuff. Nice dark red. I remember Lillehammer. And this is on Hanes tag. And I don't know. I haven't looked up anything on this one. I'll probably list it for $100. Try to sell it for at least $70. Let's see. I got a Coca-Cola shirt. This is kind of an interesting shirt. What's up, Doc? But look, it's like a red shirt with like pink sleeves.
I was going to say, I don't know if they could see it, but yeah.
I think
it shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot pink sleeves.
But I like Bugs Bunny stuff. Probably spent like $10 on that. This, I really like this. So I just listed maybe like a month ago, another Tricks t-shirt, but this graphic is way better. I love this graphic. Anyway, Tricks are for kids. It's an awesome graphic. Nice little snack tee, as they call them. Single
I love that one.
stitch. It's got a great graphic. My other one, it's a little bit boring, but this is on the anvil tag. But yeah, I'll list this for at least 100, if not 200. Maybe list for 200.
That's totally a stoner tee.
Yeah, it's great.
Totally. Look at his eyeballs.
I know, man.
He's wasted.
He's wasted. He's lit. I don't know. I may have shown this before, but I got this from Jesse for like $15-20 like a month ago. But I needed to treat it because I had yellow staining on it.
I think you showed it because it was filthy yellow.
It had a bunch of yellow stains on it. And he sold it to me for like 20 because he was like, I haven't even tried to clean it. And he's like, I've sold another one for at least 100. So I tried spot cleaning it. I treated the spots, washed it. Some of them came out, but there's some still there. Here's the deal, guys. This is a Adidas jacket, nice heavy Adidas jacket. I put this in with my whites, dumped a bazillion ounces of bleach in there in the washer, and all the spot. Look at this. It didn't hurt that graphic on the back. This is Muhammad Ali. Didn't hurt the graphic on the back. All of the yellow spots that were stains that were on it are completely gone.
It's crazy.
It's in fantastic condition, and bleach did not. The collar didn't get bleached. That's the marks you can see on there. That's the design. It didn't hurt any of it. It didn't mess up with the graphic. Nothing. It all looks great with no spots. Mm-mm. So now I can go ahead and list this. Probably list it for a couple hundred. But yeah, that's the magic of bleach, guys. All right, let me see if there's anything worth even looking at and hear anything good going on at the chat.
No, I'm just reading about Sandra is telling Jacob to name his FOMO baby Versace.
So I did not
full on liquid bleach, not tablets.
Yeah,
she like pours like 2 cups in with every load. It's ridiculous.
Bleach just doesn't. I've learned over time that bleach, for the most part, does not damage any printing. So like, if it's a dyed shirt, like a regular colored T-shirt, for instance, bleach may F it up or lighten it. Sometimes I bleach anyway, because if I do it right, it's an even bleach. So the worst it's going to do is fade the color overall. But it doesn't really hurt graphics. And sometimes it's just like, well, it's worth trying, because otherwise I just have this stained thing that, some things that are stained will sell and some things won't. So it's all about experimentation, guys.
Yeah. It's about, like I had said before, when we were talking about like washing suede or washing, down and things like that. If you've got something that is absolutely worthless the way it is, what have you got to lose?
Yeah, try it out.
That's what you should be trying bleach on. That's what you should be washing in a washing machine that you wouldn't normally wash. Suede is so expensive to have professionally cleaned. It's generally never going to be worth it as a reseller. Yeah. If you find something that you can get for pennies that is not worth reselling as it is, that's when you're going to throw it in the washing machine and do your best. And if you can make it work and clean it, then great. You've saved something you can make a profit on. If you can't, then what are you out? A couple of dollars that you've paid for it.
Yeah. All right. Mark my words. Next trend, printer core. Just kidding. Vintage tech shirt, 1994 printer T-shirt. Paid like $10 for it. Yeah. Let me look through here real quick. See if there's anything that's worth even showing you guys. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about, since we didn't do a show last week, I could have shown you some of my sales from the week before, the prior week, because I sold that Wegman shirt.
Did you?
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
I sold it for $150. Remember with Wegman, he's a photographer.
The dog.
The what kind
Weimaraners.
of Weimaraner dog. So the dog with the skates. I sold it for $150. But last thing I'll show, I got another Jesus T-shirt. This one is dope. This is Living Epistles, which is one of the Christian brands of shirts. I love this one though, because it's actually in Spanish. It says something like, "I've gone to see my father something like, I don't know, somebody else can translate it for me, but it's like, I've gone to see my father, but I'll be back soon, that kind of thing. So, and I already listed this for like $100. So, as I do with all my Christian t-shirts.
And so.
And that's it. So actually my haul this last week, I mean, the tricks one's pretty cool. Not that great of a haul. It's just kind of a mediocre. It wasn't really up to par. But it's basically just some stuff to list for the most part. Nothing crazy exciting. Anyway, that's it though.
Hit the like button on the way out, guys.
Yeah.
We've got next week's show is going to be our last show before the remix. Then you'll see our live show at the remix. We will not be doing a show on Sunday, the 17th? Is that the Sunday?
The Sunday before?
Mm-hmm. We will not be doing a show that Sunday because we have a lot of people coming in
town. And if we
end
up canceling our show next week, just know that it's probably because of Deb and Mel. Because they're going to be here. So listen, I'm 85% sure we'll have a show next week. But Deb and Mel are coming, and
they will be here.
They are coming, staying with us next weekend.
We may have a live studio audience with fluff balls.
Look at Deb's saying, "OMG," she's gonna be mad at me already. So I'm preemptively telling you it's Deb's fault. But 85% sure that we will do a show. Bring all the babies up here, and because they're going to bring their 4.
We will have the fluff balls.
Their 4 dogs, 3 and Quattro,
3.5. 3.25.
Anyway, they're coming. We might go do something fun on Friday night, and then Saturday night, Deb and I are going to see. We are going to see Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to see. These are the openers. Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, who I love, and we are going to see Flogging Molly, also a band I love, and then the headliners are the Violent Femmes. So I'm very excited. It's going to be an awesome show. Anyway. Yeah, Greg says, we assume if no show, it's because of Deb and Mel. That's just all the time. Just assume all the time. Like last week, Deb and Mel.
Totally.
It was Deb and Mel last week, too. I'm not going to lie. All right, guys. We will talk to you later. Again, there's only 1 week left to buy your tickets to the Boss Reseller Remix. It's going to be crazy awesome, super fun. Seriously,
for those of you,
all the cool kids are going to be there.
For those of you that are coming, we can't wait to see you. We're super excited. We are really getting excited now, down to the wire. And for those of you that are not coming, you will be missed. And if you're on the fence, get off the fence because you only have like a minute left.
It's got to be really uncomfortable up there anyway. I mean, there's never good seating on the fence. All right, guys, we will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, that's it. Bye.